Good afternoon and welcome to Stang Park on the campus of Midwestern State University in Wichita Falls. I'm Pete Stein along with Lynn Smith. Glad you could be with us for today's coverage of the NCAA Division II Soccer Championship. It's round 3. It's the Sweet 16. These teams will advance to the quarterfinals next week to play either Colorado State Pueblo or Cal State LA. That match will get started about an hour after we kick off here in Wichita Falls. We saw these two teams play last year. In the second round, Midwestern State survived a card-filled affair. They won that match 2-1. There were 13 yellow cards issued in that game last year. What kind of game are we expecting today, Lynn?
I don't know if it'll be that exact same way with the yellow cards. Obviously, tournament matches can get in that nitty-gritty form and fashion. I think you're going to continue to see two good teams in Fort Lewis and Midwestern try to go and attack and score goals. They play a free-flowing style of football. Obviously, Coach Oberholzer's done a great job with the Fort Lewis Skyhawks, and we know the job that Coach Meacham has done here with the Mustangs. Tell you what, though, Pete, the name I'm excited to see, obviously we know it's a game of stars, but Anton Hjalmarsson is back over here at Stang Park. He was one of my favorite players to watch last year, the number 9 up front for Fort Lewis. He's a menace. He scores goals, he creates, he presses, he defends. He's all over the place. He missed about 2 to 3 one-on-ones last year before taking the chance to make the game 2-1. You give this young man 2 to 3 chances like that again, don't expect him to miss.
He's played 10 games this year and has scored 8 goals, has 18 points, which is third on the team. Their leading goal scorer is Gabriel Legendre has 9 goals. He also has 3 assists for 21 points, but it's David Satron who leads them with 22 points. He's got 6 goals and 10 assists.
Yeah, 2 names also that were here last year to help lead the attack with Hjalmarsson and Legendre and Citron. So once again, they have multiple ways they can score goals, multiple ways they can create an attack. Can they find their ways to kind of break down this Midwestern State defense that played very, very well last week?
And then we've got Menary Escobar wearing white for Midwestern State today. He's got 16 goals and 10 assists in 20 games. He's the reigning Division II Player of the Year. And we are underway here at Stang Park. Both these teams going with the same starting lineups that they had last week in the second round as Midwestern State got past Cal Poly Pomona 3-0. And it was Fort Lewis defeating Colorado Springs last week in a 4-2 match. This is Quinn Basenko playing the ball to the left side, but it gets intercepted, taken away by Ethan Kirschneck of Midwestern State. And Kirschneck quickly gets the ball to Gakko Vakai, who scored 2 goals last week against Cal Poly Pomona in the Mustangs' 3-0 victory here at Stang Park. Going down to the ground is David Satron, and there's a ball over the top. And running up the right side, here's Hjalmarsson playing a ball to the top of the box, trying to get it to DeWinnis, but it's cleared out by Midwestern State. A backheel pass into space by Menary Escobar lands at the feet of Quinn Basenko. Sent back to Adnan Eliquad. Fort Lewis building through the middle third, once again turning the ball over to Midwestern State as Juan Galindo is there. Gets it to Cerna. Cerna had 2 goals against St. Edwards in the Lone Star Conference tournament. Here's Liam Pritchard getting inside the 18. Now it's at the feet of Menary Escobar, and it gets cleared out by the Skyhawks to DeWinnis. DeWinnis is marked there by Hexi Oriana. And it doesn't seem like there's going to be much of a feeling out process here. It looks like both teams are ready to attack.
Yeah, not too much. We saw that last week when the Mustangs played here. Obviously, Cal Poly Pomona, as good of a team they are, they had a real tough time breaking through that midfield line of defense, breaking through the midfield and being able to build up. We've already seen the first minute they were able to kind of get themselves in the attacking third and create, and then you see just as well in the counterattack the type of threat that Liam Pritchard will provide all day long on that right-hand side for the Mustangs.
Kirkham sending a ball up the center forward channel, trying to get it to Hjalmarsson. There defensively is Kirschneck. Skylar Kirschneck gets pushed down to the ground. We've got both Ethan and Skylar Kirschneck getting the start. Tristan Adams is available for Midwestern State, but not in the starting lineup. Adams is a terrific center back, and Midwestern State is 9-0-2 this year when Adams plays. Has not played the last 2 games, went out in the semifinals of the LSC tournament. Cerna gets knocked down there by Jacob Larson, but there is a late call and a free kick for Menary Escobar. Quickly gets it to Oriana. To the right side. The cross coming in. Gets headed clear, but only as far as Pritchard, who's one-timing it sky high and out of play.
Pritchard saw the name in the headlights right there. Just lashed at the attempt, though. Was never going to test the goalkeeper, Lucas Martin, there for the Skyhawks. But a few little warning signs early doors for Fort Lewis is on that left-hand side of defense. We saw Pritchard get over there and kind of create. You now saw Hexiodiana Espinal go over there. So that'll be one to watch.
Fort Lewis on the ball. Bosenko sending it to the left side. Again, looking for Hjalmarsson, but sent up the left channel. Hjalmarsson is not there, and it's Danny Robles who gets to it for Midwestern State. Robles making his 17th appearance, a 1.09 goals against average, 34 saves, a 680 save percentage, a 10-1-3 record. He's got 4 clean sheets, including last week against Cal Poly Pomona. Lucas Martin on the other end, playing in his 19th game, has allowed 16 goals, a 0.88 goals against average, 73 saves, an 820 save percentage, a record of 10-2-6 with 9 clean sheets. They had a stretch of 3 in a row at the end of the regular season. Did concede 2 goals last week to Colorado Springs, but won by 2. Here's a ball over the right shoulder of Liam Pritchard, but the flag goes up. Offside Midwestern State. Free kick coming up for Fort Lewis.
You've already seen it twice here now. We talked about it a lot last week. Just a stylistic change in Midwestern State. We know they want to play their possession style of football, but we also now see the willingness to go in behind, to skip lines, put balls over the top for Gakko Vakai. We saw him run on and score one earlier. We've now seen 2 balls played in behind, the one to Pritchard, one to Gakko Vakai. So that is something that you're going to see different from the Mustangs this year than maybe what you were accustomed to seeing last year.
Lucas Martin restarting play, but it's Eduardo Cerna who has it at halfway for Midwestern State. A nice crossover move, pushes it up the left channel, then Luke Pope steps in front of him. And it's a free kick for Pope and the Skyhawks, and they immediately get the ball to Satron. Fort Lewis has seen more of the ball early on, but they've not really set up in the attacking third. They will take a shot from distance here, but Robles knocks it down. And we remain scoreless a little more than 5 minutes into the contest. The shot coming from Legendre, who's been their leading goal scorer this year with 9 goals.
It's a penalty kick, Pete.
Inside the 18.
Yep.
And scoring the first goal has been important to the Skyhawks this year. They're 12-0-2 when they score the first goal in a match. They're 1-3-4 when the opponent scores first. We've seen Midwestern State rally from a goal down a couple of times, even just recently. They did it twice in the LSC tournament.
This is it's a crucial moment of the match. 6.5 minutes in. I didn't exactly see how the ball ended up at Hjalmarsson. I took my head down to look at the notes for 1 second, Pete, and I look up and I see Hjalmarsson in the box. Galindo does well to get it away from him, but Johnny on the spot of the Skyhawks to pick up a second ball, and a lazy leg tackles, and it's going to be a penalty kick, 10 out of 10.
It was DeWinnis who got fouled. Satron appears to be the one lined up to take the penalty kick. Fort Lewis is 2 for 4 on penalty kicks. Midwestern State has allowed 2 penalty kicks on 2 attempts this year. Now opponents are 3 for 3 on PKs against the Mustangs, as Fort Lewis has taken a 1-0 lead here at Stang Park, and they are unbeaten this season when scoring first.
And it's a dream start for the Skyhawks to go up this early here at Stang Park, try to take a little bit of sting out of this crowd that they're facing. Citron steps up, and he calmly slots it home as Robles dives the other way to give the Skyhawks the early 1-0 lead in this Sweet 16 matchup.
Legendre and Kirkham had scored on penalty kicks earlier in the year, but this time it's Satron, and he's got his 7th goal of the season. He's got 1 game-winning goal this year for the Skyhawks.
This is a different attack that the Mustangs are going to be facing here in the Skyhawks than what they saw last week in the Cal Poly Pomona Broncos.
In what way?
This is an experienced front 3. You've got Duenes in behind him, Citron, Legendre, Hjalmarsson. We all saw here last year. We know what the qualities that they possess. And as you see early on, they put the pressure on the Mustangs. They go and draw a penalty kick to put themselves up 1-0. How do they now to continue to adapt? Will they continue to be able to put pressure on as the Mustangs are going to go in search of an equalizer?
Cerna was the target of that long ball. Here's the counterattack for the Skyhawks. Hjalmarsson running up on it to the byline. A low cross is blocked by Kirshnick. And a corner kick opportunity coming up here for Fort Lewis.
Name multiple names. And I save Hjalmarsson for last because this is the threat this young man possesses. Every time he gets put in behind, he looks like he's going to win a race and go after it. And we've seen Ethan Kirshnack and Skylar Kirshnack not lose many of those. He's got the winning of the race here now early on. He's obviously dealt with injuries a lot this season. How long can he last? Coach Oberholzer said he's probably in the best nick and shape that he's had all season. He's a threat, man.
Satron delivering this corner from the right side. Satron sends it to the near post. It gets cleared of the area, but right back to Satron. And on a bounce, Robles has it as Satron sent it back inside the 18. Robles with a nice delivery here up the right side, but leads Pritchard a little bit too much, and Luke Pope is able to play it for the Skyhawks and at least allow Fort Lewis to get back defensively before this Midwestern State throw at halfway. Kirshnack puts it at the feet of Gakko Vakai. I certainly don't think Midwestern State's going to panic here being down a goal.
No, it's no panic, but the game has already kind of taken its tone, right? And that's a Fort Lewis has shown that they got the willingness to get in behind, to threaten you, to also show the capabilities to score goals and put you under dangerous situations. Now, how will they defend as the Mustangs are going to try to get their little foot on the game and create, because they do have the threats themselves, including this man right here.
Yep, Mary Escobar is one of the biggest threats on the pitch. Here's Pritchard on the right side and drives it out of play.
Gotcha.
It's going to be a corner kick as it was deflected by the Skyhawks, and it'll be Escobar delivering this corner from the left side for Midwestern State. Escobar is a prolific goal scorer, but he also is among the leaders in assists. Puts one right in front. It gets cleared out. As far as Cerna, to Oriana. It's across the face of goal, and Midwestern State nearly redirected one in.
It's got to be put in the back of the net. I don't know if it was Gakko Vakai or Galindo that could have got on the end of it, but it's a perfect little ball there from Oriana Espinal that just flashes across the face. All it needed was a touch.
Goal kick instead for Lucas Martin. There is practically no wind here at Stank Park today. It's just a very slight easterly wind that's going across the pitch, but it's really a non-factor here this afternoon. Satron wins the battle in the middle of the field and is able to get it to Basenko. Sent back to Eliquad. Basenko with another one-touch pass for Jacob Larson. Ahead to Satron, a little heavy with that touch, and McKechnie runs up on it for Midwestern State and gets it to Galindo. Galindo plays it square to Skylar Kirshnack. Back to McKechnie, who loses it, turned over to Satron. McKechnie wins it back. No foul called. Here's Medri Escobar up the right channel. He's picked up by Kirkham. He'll switch it to the right side. Kirshnack knocks it down, comes toward the middle. Looking for Pritchard to make a run. It'll be a goal kick instead. Well, we're 10 minutes in, and we've already seen Fort Lewis score a goal. There's been lots of action early on. The goal coming on a penalty kick in the 6th minute from David Satron. Seen a lot of these duels in the middle third early on. Lands at the feet of Hjalmarsson in Mustangs country. He makes a run up the center forward channel. Hjalmarsson winds up, and Robles makes the save, leaves a rebound. It's out of play. Corner kick coming up.
I'll be a broken record at home. This kid is unbelievable. He just picks it up and he just goes, and he's so direct and he's so strong and powerful as a runner. Robles closes down the angle well. Galindo does well to keep him outside, but that's sometimes all you can do. But
looks like he's got a little bit more size this year.
Pete,
but he moves well.
You've seen a handful of center forwards at Division II level. He's one of the best. Oh,
that corner kick, that was excellent service, but the Skyhawks aren't able to do anything with it. Midwestern State trying to get it cleared out of their defensive third. Kershnak is taken off the ball by Satron, who's having a great start to this game. It'll be thrown in by Pope just inside halfway in Midwestern State territory. Looking for Satron, marked by Cerna. Satron is taken down to the ground by Cerna. There's no call. Mary Escobar on the ball. Gets thrown in to DeWinnis. He's tripped up, and the whistle sounds, and a free kick coming.
Going to send the two big center halves up. Free kick in a dangerous area. They have some great size. Obviously, we talk about Hjalmarsson. See the two big center backs floating their ways up there now as well.
Yeah, Jacob Larson's a guy to watch out for here, too. DeWinnis runs past it. DeWinnis curls it. Looking for a header on that left side, but it's out of play, and it's a goal kick for Robles and the Mustangs, who trail 1-0. We're in the 13th minute of the match.
Intended for that target you spoke about, Pete. Jacob Larson right there getting a little chance at a header, but unable to put it on frame and really test Robles.
Hjalmarsson putting a little pressure on Robles here. Robles driving it toward Kershnak, but there's Casey Strocker sending it out of play. Throw for the Mustangs at halfway. Oriana lifts it up the right side, looking to get it to Pritchard, who's got speed. The keeper well off his line out to the 18, but Midwestern State not able to take advantage. They will get a throw here. Almost level with the 18. It's thrown into Oriana. Here's McKechnie. Jaime Villagomez, who played well against Cal Poly Pomona and has played well in his last few appearances. This ball is chipped up the right side, intended for Hjalmarsson by Thomas Kirkham, but it veers out of play, and Midwestern State has a throw. Cerna deflects it right back to Villagomez. To Skylar Kershnak, to Galindo. Return to Kershnak. Robles traps it just beyond the penalty arc. Walks right up to Hjalmarsson and then plays the ball left to Kershnak. Kershnak now goes direct for Villagomez. Pope is there to head it away. It lands at the feet of Escobar, who finds Pritchard. Pritchard not able to get around Legendrai. A shot coming in at a blistering pace, but there to make the save is Lucas Martin.
If you're the Mustangs, you want to keep going at it down that right-hand side of yours, the left side of the defense for the Fort Lewis Skyhawks. That's where you've found the most danger. Pope's been very good over here on the right-hand side defensively against Cerna to start off, but it looks like you can maybe get over there at Strocker right now. Kind of caused the overload with Pritchard and Kershnak. Martin makes a big save there without spilling it.
Here's Hjalmarsson being marked by Kershnak. DeWinnis with a one-touch pass right back to Hjalmarsson, who tries to take down Ethan Kershnak. Ethan plays it off Bosenko, and it lands at the feet of Larson. Larson's going to circle back. All the way back to the keeper now. Martin has it. Martin's got a strong leg and no wind to deal with at Stang Park today. Headed by Galindo back to the center circle. McKechnie is there, but a little heavy with the touch, and it's at the feet of DeWinnis. Here's Bosenko playing it out wide. Satron moving toward the penalty area, plays it to the top of the penalty arc where DeWinnis knocks it down with the right boot, turns it over to Mary Escobar. Escobar trying to get through traffic, plays it behind Cerna, and it's into touch at halfway.
The Skyhawks, you'll be okay with Mary Escobar touching his defensive third. Hasn't got as many touches as he'd like in the attacking third, but Mustangs know that's going to be who things are going to go through today if they're going to be able to create and score goals.
Pope with the throw to DeWinnis to Kirkham. Kirkham plays it to the left side. This is Strocker moving forward, chipping it into the area. Gets headed away by Kirschneck. Back inside the area, Villagomez has it for Midwestern State. Gets it to halfway. Pope heads it, and it lands back at the feet of Larson. Larson to Eloquad. To Bosenko. Bosenko in the center circle. Crosses halfway, and then played back to Larson. In the 17th minute, Skyhawks once again approaching the attacking third with Strocker on the left side. Strocker switches it to the right side. Satron knocks it down with the left boot, then sends it back toward the far post, cleared out by Kirschnack. Satron chasing it down for Fort Lewis, but Cerna's there for Midwestern State. Moving up the touchline, it's lost, and a throw coming up for Fort Lewis. Pope with the throw, looking for Hjalmarsson. Sent out of play by Oriana of Midwestern State. Another throw for Pope. Put at the feet of DeWinnis. This is Kirkham winding up, taking a shot from distance that's deflected. It's going to be a goal kick. Midwestern State trailing 1-0. Played nearly 18 minutes at Stang Park. Just a perfect day for soccer. 59 degrees, clear skies, and no real wind to speak of. Ball sent over the top, looking for Villagomez, headed by Pope of Fort Lewis. Kirschnack gets it to Oriana. Out to the right side for Ethan Kirschnack. Chipped into space. Pritchard runs up on it and got it inside the 6-yard box, and it's cleared by Jacob Larson.
Hey, say it again, Pete. All good things so far in this first 20 or so minutes for the Mustangs has come down that right-hand side through Pritchard and Kirschnack. Another good opportunity is for Pritchard.
Nery Escobar plays the ball to the top of the box. It comes back to Escobar. Out to Villagomez. Here's Escobar. Escobar to Oriana, who tries to drive one through traffic. Cerna's on top of it. It's cleared out. Nery Escobar can't get there before Hjalmarsson. And then a sliding tackle by Kirschnack allows Villagomez to win the ball. McKechnie has it at halfway, laid back to Galindo.
Good spell of pressure here from the Mustangs. Can they make it count?
McKechnie to Gakovakai, poked away by Bosenko. Throw for MSU. We're in the 20th minute. Mustangs trailing 1-0. Gakovakai taken down. That's going to be a free kick from the right wing for Midwestern State. Appears as though it'll be Escobar taking this free kick.
Yeah. Okay, they're fixing it over here. I was like, Hjalmarsson's over here one-on-one. As much as I love Galindo, you don't want to just leave him one-on-one for potential counterattacks.
Two of the better targets in the air, not on the pitch for Midwestern State.
Some delivery, Pete!
And it just trickles wide.
What a beautiful delivery from Villagomez. Well, Oriana Espinal gets the flick, but somehow it doesn't find its way in the back of the net. A couple really big chances here for the Mustangs to go level. Unable to find the breakthrough. Will it maybe come here on a set piece? Fort Lewis living on the edge right now.
Here's a corner kick. Tristan Adams and Samuel Maroney have been two of the better targets in the air for Midwestern State. Neither in the starting lineup today. The corner kick gets cleared out, but only as far as Galindo. Back to Robles, who's almost to the center circle playing the ball for Midwestern State. To Kirshnak. Back to Robles. Robles still looking for a target. Cerna is the man it eventually goes to, and then it gets cleared out by Basenko, but here's the counterattack. DeWinnis approaching the top of the penalty arc, plays it to Satron, whose shot is blocked, and Midwestern State is able to get it cleared out to Cerna. Villa Gomez getting it to Cerna. Cerna to Escobar, one-touch pass back into the path of Cerna, who's taken down by Kirkham, and a foul called.
Maybe got a bit too much of Escobar to Kirkham right there. I won't lie to you, Pete. I thought it was a good tackle when I first glanced, but referee calls it, and free kick for the Mustangs.
Midwestern State approaching the attacking third, trailing by a goal. Oriana for Gakovakai, who tees it up, takes a shot. And it's a goal kick coming up here for Lucas Martin and the Skyhawks.
First look at goal other than that one that maybe flashed across that we thought he maybe could have got on the end of. Gakovakai obviously scored the brace last week to lead the Mustangs to victory. Turns, gets one about 20, 25 yards away from there. Kind of just lashes at it a little bit with the left leg.
Yarmerson plays it into space. Catching up to it is Stocker. And Yarmerson comes in, but there's not much that Fort Lewis can do, and it's a goal kick. McKechnie sends one over the top for Pritchard. The flag stays down. Nope, it goes up now.
Maybe just a little bit mistimed there. There's the warning sign, and that's where the danger has been coming for the Mustangs all day long, from Pritchard on that right wing, going at Strocker, trying to get him behind him, see what he can do to create nearly a perfect ball there from McKechnie to Springham.
Eloquan to Strocker. DeWinnis in the middle of the pitch, loses it to Oriana. He's looking for Pritchard on the right wing. Strocker shading Pritchard. Pritchard to the edge of the area. Has it taken away by Strocker.
Give credit where credit's due right there. Strocker wins that individual battle that time between him and Pritchard.
Gendre slipped, was able to get back up and keep possession. The ball comes to Satron, who's across halfway. Satron to Pope. The cross in, sent out of play by Galindo.
And equivalently for the Skyhawks, right, a lot of their positive play has come down their right-hand side between Satron and Pope running over here down the wings. Obviously a little bit different. Satron is naturally left-footed, looks to dip inside to cut in on the left leg. He's got the overlap in Pope, where you see Pritchard naturally right-legged, wants to stay a little bit wider and go at his defender in the opposite manner. So right now that's where it looks like a lot of success has been coming for both teams.
Satron delivering this corner kick. This is the third corner kick, and it's an opportunity that goes by the boards for the Skyhawks, who are the 6th seed in Super Region 4, taking on 2nd-seeded Midwestern State this afternoon at Stang Park.
If I'm not mistaken, Fort Lewis has played the exact same 2 games they played last year, correct? Colorado Springs in the first round, or in your first match, and then you get the Mustangs in your second match. So familiar territory for where a lot of these young men were at last year.
They played Colorado Springs here last year.
Yeah, they did.
Right?
They did.
Yeah.
Obviously, this year that first round was in Springs, where they beat them last week.
Taking out the higher seed. We saw a lot of that last week in the NCAA Division II tournament. We'll get you caught up on the tournament at halftime, which is less than 20 minutes away. Kirshnak. Again, sending it to that right side, but it's behind Pritchard. And Ethan Kirshnak not able to chase it down. Strocker will throw it in for the Skyhawks. Thrown in up the right side. This is a Fort Lewis side that's won 19 RMAC championships and 3 national championships in their history. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we talked about it last year, right, Pete? They had a lot of success here in Coach Oberholzer's history. I think a Final Four here, raised the national championship over here as well for the Skyhawks. So definitely not unfamiliar with Wichita Falls and Steng Park, and having a lot of success out here on the field.
Well, it's their 4th meeting with Midwestern State in the NCAA tournament, and they're 2-0-1. They advanced on PKs back in 2006.
Coach Spence talks about that one all the time over here when he was getting recruited. He said he went out to watch that game, Fort Lewis and Midwestern, and questioned himself if he could play at this level when he saw how high quality was at the Division II level with some of the top teams.
Villagomez was making himself available with a run up the left side, but the ball did not get to him immediately. Eventually it does get to him, and he gets it to Metairie Escobar. Galindo returns it to Escobar at halfway. To Kirshnak. Again, going out wide right. This is Skylar Kirshnak. He's capable of delivering some good service. Pushes the ball toward the byline into the area, played to the near post, and covered up by Lucas Martin.
Is he giving a free kick there for Gakko Bakai? Maybe just kind of kicking at the ball when it's in his hands, I wonder. But Lucas Martin's been very good dealing with some of these crosses and those balls out there that he's had to come by him. He's held onto him well. He's made sure to not leave any rebounds that kind of drift to the Mustangs in front of the goal. So he's going to have to continue to do so out there, defending and handling these crosses.
Martin started 20 of 21 matches last season. Had a career-high 8 saves on 3 occasions in his career. Basenko at midfield. Turned over to Midwestern State, and here's Metairie Escobar up the center forward channel. Playing it to the right side for Oriana. Escobar continues to make his run, then takes a one-timer, and Martin is there to make the save.
Martin up for the challenge. Your first real sign of Metairie Escobar floating through that midfield in this different role that he's played this year, kind of as that attacking midfielder going through. Him and Gakko Bakai link up very well, and Escobar with a good chance inside the 18. You don't see him miss many of those. Credit to Lucas Martin again for making the save, and not only making the save, but holding on to it as well, denying any rebound opportunities.
Midwestern State's creating some chances for themselves, and they've brought Tristan Adams into the game here fairly early in the match. Adams getting back defensively right now as DeWinnis gets to the 18. And then Kirkham got tangled up, and there's a yellow card. Midwestern State getting the free kick.
Maybe he said something, Pete. I just watched the replay. I didn't see him kick out while he was on the ground, unless that's maybe kicked out while he was on, but I couldn't really see it from the replay there.
Did he get a stud zump?
Yeah, maybe so. Obviously, a referee saw enough or heard enough down there to issue a yellow card.
And you're right, as delayed as it was, it might have been something he said.
Yeah, so obviously not down there to hear those heat of the moment things. You don't want to see yellow cards just given away freely today. Obviously, we talked about how many last year. We said 13.
13 yellow cards last year, I believe.
So
Midwestern State keeping it in the attacking third thanks to Cerna, who gets it to Pritchard. Pritchard winds up, takes a shot, didn't catch all of it, but Gakko Bakai has it, shoots, and a diving save by Lucas Martin maintains a 1-0 lead for the Skyhawks as Satron gets to it in the corner. And then Pope clears it out of, stays in play. McKechnie knocks it down for Midwestern State, but here's Hiljalmarsson getting to halfway. The counterattack is on. Legendre plays it to DeWinnis. Robles with a save, and then there's Tristan Adams showing up. It's cleared out to Basenko. Basenko fires it in, but nowhere near the goal, and here comes Midwestern State.
End-to-end stuff right now.
Gakovakai looking for Pritchard up the right side. Deflected out of play. It'll be a throw for Midwestern State.
Each goalkeeper with a big save. We see Robles make his big one down there along with the Tristan Adams block on the rebound. But once again, Lucas Martin, I've sung the praises of Hjalmarsson enough for this Skyhawks team to where so far this first half, Lucas Martin has been unbelievable in the net for the Skyhawks to keep this thing at a clean sheet for himself and at a 1-0 lead.
There were 13 yellow cards in the match here last year. 8 of them were shown to Fort Lewis. And Thomas Kirkham has one today in the 30th minute of play. 1-0, Fort Lewis leading on a PK, scored in the 6th minute by David Satron. Here's Villagomez on the left side. Villagomez bends one wide. Gakovakai got taken down inside the area. Some Mustang fans wanted a call.
No, Mustang fans, it's never a penalty.
Distributed out to the right side. Knocked down by Satron. Free kick coming up. No, just a throw. Substitutions coming into the match. It's like Josh Mia is coming in for Midwestern State, replacing Cerna. And Fort Lewis is bringing on Theo Bergman, who's a 6'3 freshman out of Sweden. They've got some size.
Yeah, they just took off one massive Swede and bring on another one.
Galindo playing this ball to the right side. Kirshnak dispossessed by Strocker. Strocker's got time and space up the left side. McKechnie will pick him up at halfway, send into the center forward channel. Robles making himself big, but the goal's left wide open. It's cleared off the line just in time by Tristan Adams.
Pete, it was an awful giveaway by the Mustangs in the attacking third. Led to the counter for Bergman, who saw his name in lights, and he's gone around Robles easily, but he's just taking the chance a bit too casually, and Adams on his horse, able to keep it out of the net to keep this game at 1-0. What a match we've had here so far in this first half.
I'm wondering if Adams didn't re-injure himself, though, making that play. He seems to be hobbled a little bit. Corner kick coming up from the right side. To the back post. Midwestern State trying to get out of their own end. Here's Metairie Escobar.
Pritchard's your one.
Here's Pritchard. The flag's down. Pritchard winds up and arcs one out of play.
Just not the end product needed from Pritchard there. Just a little bit in two minds. He thought he could maybe have a strike. He thought he could maybe cross one there, unable to get away with either, and leads to a goal kick and some more subs and maybe a chance for the folks at Stang Park and ourselves to catch our breath over here, because it's been end-to-end action, and I mean, it's how we're only at 1-0 with it being a penalty kick is beyond me, because each team has created plenty of great chances from open play.
Gakovakai comes out of the game for Midwestern State. Adams is staying in, but watching Adams run, there's a hitch in his get-along.
Yeah, one to monitor for sure.
Adams getting a head in on that ball. Galindo has it. This is Adams on the ball right now. Adams making one of the plays of the first half, clearing that ball off the line a moment ago.
He saved 2 goals. He's cleared one off the line. He had the block on the empty net rebound as well. So
Villagomez sending it back into Fort Lewis territory, played by Basenko. Pritchard's being dragged down by Strocker, but Pritchard stays on his feet. Mia trying to keep the ball in play. Fort Lewis has it. Basenko playing it back to Eloquat. Kirshnak intercepts for Midwestern State. That's Ethan Kirshnak. Eloquad redirects it, headed by Oriana of Midwestern State in the direction of Mia. Adams trying to get underneath it, does so, heads it, knocks it down with his right boot, and then plays it ahead to Oriana. Oriana finds Escobar, who traps it with the left boot and moves up the center forward channel. Plays it out right. Mia takes a shot, and it's a diving save by Lucas Martin going to his left. And then it's cleared out of play by Jacob Larson, giving Midwestern State a throw.
Yeah, Josh Mia picks up a good area, but once again, it starts with Escobar finding those little pockets in that attacking third. Talked about him playing that attacking mid-roll right underneath the striker, just floating about, looking to either create off the dribble, looking to create with the pass, or obviously has an eye for goal.
Pritchard comes out, and Liam Kervick is into the match. Kervick lost his footing, and ball is turned over to Fort Lewis.
Yeah, just unable to keep his feet there. Kervick looked like he was going to have a chance there, too, to maybe get himself a delivery inside the box, but slips and then gets up and fouls him.
The free kick will come from the keeper, Martin, who's made 4 saves here in the opening 36 minutes.
4 saves, then he's handled a handful of crosses that have been whipped in with pace, deflections. He's been good in that goal.
Adams goes up and gets the header here for Midwestern State. Stumbling back up to his feet as Villagomez has the ball for Midwestern State off the body of Kervick. The official awards the ball to Midwestern State. Mustangs get a free kick. Adams sending it to Galindo. Galindo looking upfield for a target. Back to Adams. Adams for Galindo. Across halfway. McKechnie has it. Escobar in the left channel. Casually plays it into the area, looking for Gonzalez, who's come into the game. Here's Mia, who's veered off the frame. That's here. Yalmerson playing some pretty good defense. Pardon me, it's Larson. It's Jacob Larson back there defending. McKechnie's coming out of the game. And into the contest for Midwestern State is Johan Juarez. Thrown into Escobar, taps it into space. Villagomez gets there. Gets to Oriana, who's dispossessed and comes up from behind, unable to win the ball from DeWinnis. DeWinnis plays it toward the middle, headed by Adams to Oriana. Back to Adams. 6.5 minutes from halftime. Basenko plays it into Midwestern State territory. Here come the Skyhawks. Basenko playing it to Jacob Ramos, who's coming to the game. A shot goes wide. That shot taken by Legendre, who's had 2 shots and 1 on goal. We've played 39 minutes, Midwestern State with possession. Been a lot of opportunities. Really for both sides. We've had 21 shots in the first half. 5 shots on goal for the Skyhawks and 4 for Midwestern State. Skyhawks scoring on a penalty kick in the 6th minute. Still 1-0. Midwestern State trying to get it to Villagomez, but Pope is there defensively. And it's a goal kick coming up here for the Skyhawks. "40 minutes complete at Stang Park on a clear, cool afternoon where the wind is not much of a factor at all. The flag absolutely still right now. Here's Ramos on the right side. Drives the ball toward Robles and he moves to his left away from the frame and makes the catch. Puts it at the feet of Villagomez. Lifted up the left side, played by Larson. At the feet of Kirkham. Kirkham goes over the top. Robles cradles it in as the target man was Legendre. Juarez on the ball for Midwestern State. To Villagomez. Adams. He'll get pressured by Bergman. Goes over the top of the right side for Kirschneck, who chested forward. Kirschneck into the area, plays it to the middle, and then it's cleared out by Pope. Midwestern State gets a throw in the attacking third.
Had the two options, just kind of played him in between both. He had Mia for a negative cutback that was closer, and then he also had Escobar a little bit further away.
Ethan Kirschneck gets to the byline. Basenko there defensively. The ball's played back to Oriana, to Mia. Mia switching it to the left side. Escobar chasing, but Pope is there first. Pope clears it, but only as far as Villagomez. Escobar with a one-time pass into the area, looking for Juarez, but it's cleared out by Larson, and now a throw for Fort Lewis. Pope will throw it in up the right side. Tristan Adam corrals it. Gets it to Galindo. Galindo slips, hops back up. Able to play it to Juarez, who finds Escobar to his left. Juarez making an overlapping run. The ball's played to the top of the box for Gonzalez, taken away by Kirkham. Kirkham gets it to Legendre. Legendre plays it to the center circle where Adams wins the ball, taking it away from Bergman. Here's Kervik. Pushing it on Basenko. A low cross in, gets cleared out by the Skyhawks. Eliquad clearing it. It's off Adams. And a throw for the Skyhawks. It'll be Strocker to throw it in. Just 2:20 from halftime. Get you updated on what else is happening in the NCAA Division II Soccer Championship. When we get to the interval, Adams plays the ball over the top looking for Gonzalez, who's trying to get around Equad. Gonzalez has it at the byline. Goes down to the ground, and it's a corner kick for Midwestern State.
Tremendous work right there from Max Gonzalez just to battle with Eliquad over there. Create a little corner kick opportunity here for the Mustangs. And you mentioned it, they didn't have this big man Tristan Adams on the field for the first few chances. He's on the field now. Can he make himself a presence on this opportunity for the Mustangs?
It'll be Jaime Villagomez delivering the service here from the right side. It's a low liner to the 6-yard box, and it gets cleared out by Fort Lewis.
Pete, a few things frustrate me in life whenever I watch matches. We talk about referees that make themselves too involved in the game, and you know one of my next big ones, corner kicks that don't beat the first man.
Chase Larson was there. Here's Escobar playing into the back post. A header goes wide for Kervik. We're into the final minute of the opening stanza. It's a 1-0 lead for Fort Lewis. To halfway. Here's Kirschneck. Juarez. Strocker there for Fort Lewis. Let it go out of play. Throw for the Skyhawks, sent up the right channel. Headed by Kirschneck, but back into touch. 18 seconds left in the first half. Fort Lewis with the lead. We've had 22 attempted shots, 9 on frame here in the first half. 5 shots on goal for Fort Lewis out of their 10 attempts. 4 shots on 12 attempts on goal for Midwestern State. The only goal came in the 6th minute. David Satron scored on a penalty kick. But we had end-to-end action, neither team able to cash in. Each team had 4 corner kicks. Each team committed 5 fouls. Midwestern State was offsides twice. Your thoughts of the first 45 minutes, Lynn?
I thought we got to see end-to-end stuff. You got to see 2 very evenly matched teams that were willing to attack, willing to go at one another. You saw plenty of opportunities. To see the only goal being a penalty kick is surprising to me. I figured we would have seen 1 or 2 of these other opportunities go in. Fort Lewis has the edge, and that's the way the game's gone. It's who's going to take that chance is maybe going to go ahead and put themselves in the lead, and Fort Lewis obviously the chance on a penalty kick early on. They take it, they score it, but, I mean, chances at either end for both teams, right? You saw Lucas Martin make some great saves. Seen Robles have to make a save. Adams clear one off the line, save a rebound. So it's been a great match so far if you're neutral.
Martin made 4 saves. Robles made 3 saves on the other end for Midwestern State. And I get the sense we're going to see the same thing in the next 45 minutes.
That's what I'm interested to see. Is it going to be the exact same style, or both teams going to stay opened up and going at one another? Will we see maybe Fort Lewis try to become a bit more compact, maybe slow the game down a little bit? It's going to be very interesting to see how the next 45 plays out, because it's a win or go home right now. So it's going to be interesting to see. I know Fort Lewis believes they can get that second goal. Midwestern's obviously going to continue pushing for the equalizer, so we very well could see the same style of match. But you also know after halftime, things can always become tinkered and slowed down as well when these 2 great coaches get a chance to kind of go to the chessboard and work on what they want to see fixed.
Midwestern State had 56% of the possession in that first half compared to 44% for the Skyhawks. And we saw Midwestern State bring on 5 substitutes, Juarez, Gonzalez, Adams, Mia, and Kervick. And it's a good thing they brought in Adams because he made some huge defensive plays. Bergman and Ramos were the 2 subs who came into the game for Fort Lewis, who entered the match 13-3-6. Midwestern State coming in 15-2-3, nearly 800 here at Stang Park this afternoon on a clear, cool day. It's been some fun soccer. We've got another 45 minutes to play. We'll update you on the NCAA Division II Soccer Championship when our coverage continues.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA consent is prohibited.
On campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service. So is research, so is becoming a better person, and we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com, and whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access.
And they've done it!
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are setting the blitz and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences. Brought to you by the NCAA.
I teach the art of fanology, a job I take seriously. As to the question of nature versus nurture, is a fan born or is a fan made? I know this. Our game can make a fan out of anyone. And at Fandom U, we take it to a whole new level. The NCAA Championships. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back here at Stank Park, Pete Stein along with Lynn Smith. Glad you could be with us for our coverage of Midwestern State and Fort Lewis in the third round of the NCAA Division II Soccer Championship. There's action all over the country today, and a lot of interest in the battle between Charleston of West Virginia and Franklin Pierce, two powerhouses playing in the 81st minute, and Charleston, the number 1 seed, with a 1-0 lead over 5th seed Franklin Pierce, the defending national champions.
Yeah, back-to-back defending national champ Franklin Pierce. We've seen them play Colorado State Pueblo out of this Region 4 the last 2 seasons and come out on top. And then before that, it was Charleston of West Virginia versus Cal State LA that we saw 3 years in a row as well, where Charleston was able to win 2 of those national championships. So, obviously, winner of that game is going to have a big hope to get to a Final Four.
No doubt, as they'll play either Felician or Post, who have reached the half, with Felician, the 6th seed, leading 7th seeded Post 2-1. And then that's the action in Region 1. And then in the Region 2 matchup today, Limestone and Clayton State are tied 1-1 in the 73rd minute. And they will face either Lynn or Coker. And that's a 1-0 lead for the 2nd-seeded side from Lynn over 3rd-seeded Coker, as they're just about 6 minutes from full time in that match. Over in Super Region 3, there is a final today. Saginaw Valley beat Tiffin 2-1, so Saginaw Valley will play either McKendree or Findlay. McKendree, the number 2 seed, Findlay, the number 6 seed, and McKendree's got a 2-0 halftime lead. And then, of course, here in Super Region 4, Fort Lewis is leading Midwestern State 1-0 at the half, and the winner of this match will face either Colorado State Pueblo or Cal State LA. Cal State LA, the number 5 seed, beat the 4th seed Cal State Dominguez Hills last week 4-1. Pueblo was able to get past Western Oregon 3-2.
Obviously, plenty of rematches going around. We talked about this good game between these 2 teams last year, and probably the game of the tournament last year between Colorado State Pueblo and Cal State LA that we got to see, the Elite 8 game, the regional final here at Stang Park. I believe it went back and forth, finished 3-3 or 4-4, went to penalty kicks. So I'm sure Cal State LA's licking their chops over there, hoping to get the best of Pueblo, and Pueblo's hoping to kind of continue doing what they've done over the last 2 years, which is run this region.
Yeah, I mean, they win by narrow margins, but they win nonetheless.
Pete, best 2 center backs I've seen. Zavicini and Sean Andrews, just absolute units back there. They defend like monsters. They are prototypical what you want in a college center back. They're both about 6'3", 6'4". I think Andrews maybe stands at 6'5". They may not do things to everybody's appease the eye, but they win games and they know what they're doing over there.
Nobody says you have to play the beautiful game.
It don't matter as long as you're winning. I'd take getting to Final Fours and national championships if you're going to call my style ugly. I could care less.
Shepherd in the women's matches today. The number 1 seed beat Gannon 1-0 and will now play Franklin Pierce. Franklin Pierce advancing on PKs after playing a 1-1 draw with Jefferson. West Florida and Montevallo are scoreless at halftime. UNG trailing Columbus State. That's the number 3 seed trailing Columbus State, the number 1 seed, 2-0. And they're about a minute away from full time in that match. Colorado School of Mines at half is leading Angelo State 3-1 with Cal Poly Pomona awaiting the winner. Cal Poly Pomona in overtime beat Point Loma 2-1. And then in the remaining region, super region, well, actually it's a little bit different in the women, but Grand Valley State and Minnesota State will meet. Minnesota State, a 1-0 overtime victory today over Central Missouri, and Grand Valley State shut out Drury 2-0.
Interesting to see over there on the women's side. Obviously, Angelo State was up 1-0 before I came over here to the booth with you to see Colorado School of Mines score 3 goals. I mean, probably 2 of the best forwards in women's soccer they have over there. They got a young lady, Reese McDermott, has scored 59, 60 goals herself. You got a girl from Texas, Bella Ocampos, who scored 20 this season, I believe. So they're loaded up front over there, and they're giving Angelo all they can handle right now up there in Colorado.
Well, we've got another 45 minutes to play here at Stang Park as Midwestern State and Fort Lewis battle it out for a berth in the quarterfinals. Stay with us. Our coverage continues on Flow College.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA consent is prohibited.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades.
Ah, the holidays. The time of year for friends, family, camaraderie, and competition. Give the gift of fandom this year. Treat the fan in your life with the gift of NCAA championships. Use code GEORGE. Save this holiday season with NCAA holiday deals. Buy your tickets today at ncaa.com/deals. Class dismissed.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
National championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access.
And they've done it!
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
College sports fans, get ready for game day with the officially licensed merchandise from the NCAA official online shop. Shop NCAAsports.com. Get the whole family geared up with the best collection of apparel and accessories, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, headgear, championship gear, and more. Visit the NCAA shop for today's special offer and rep your favorite team now. Only at shopNCAAsports.com.
David Satron scored on a penalty kick in the 6th minute, the only goal of the first half. A half that saw 22 shots combined between Midwestern State and Fort Lewis. Fort Lewis put 5 of their 10 shots on frame. Midwestern State put 4 of 12 on frame. Daniel Robles made 3 saves for Midwestern State, and Lucas Martin made 4 saves for Fort Lewis in what was a really entertaining first 45 minutes.
Like I say, it's surprised to see it only at 1-0 with the amount of chances created, but not only the amount of chances, the quality chances that were created as well. You saw players like Escobar get himself in the box. Lucas Martin pulls a save off. P. Almerson finds himself in the goal one-on-one where Robles has to pull a couple saves off. Tristan Adams clears a couple off the line. So definitely the amount of chances, but the quality's been there as well, and that's why I'm surprised to see it still at 1-0, but obviously it's a very, very fun first half. We could barely get a chance to breathe. It was end-to-end. You had teams breaking, going at pace, looking to create, looking to have fun, looking to score goals. Obviously a great watch for us. Can we get another 45 minutes the same?
It's interesting because we mentioned Fort Lewis is 12-0-2 when they score the first goal, but Midwestern State's been in this position so often this season and come back to win.
Yeah, that's what this Mustang team has prided itself on a little bit this year. Maybe obviously we talk about the beauty of that 20-win team that went undefeated last year and the way they played. This Midwestern team goes about their business a little bit different. They're a little bit hard-nosed, a little bit more blue-collar whenever you see it. In these opportunities, hopefully you're seeing one where they haven't gotten rattled and flustered. They've created the chances. Last year we saw them go down against Pueblo. They didn't really create much after that either. You know, it was a really 1-0, and it was a nothing game. Gone down 1-0, they've been able to create multiple opportunities. Now it's going to be, can you take your chance to get this thing level before Fort Lewis takes theirs to make it 2-0.
And Midwestern State came in playing their best soccer of the season. They've been peaking at the right time.
Yes, they have. And like I said, probably one of their better overall team performances this week whenever they played Cal Poly Pomona. They attacked well, midfield was strong, they defended well, kept the ball, they did everything put together. Today you've just kind of seen Fort Lewis, team with a little bit more punch right now than they saw in the Broncos, starting with obviously Hjalmarsson, Satron, Legendre out there, Thomas Duenes in that attacking mid-roll. Even saw Bergman come on, skip around, nearly have an empty net to put one into before Tristan Adams clear off the line. So they've just packed a little bit more punch than the Mustangs saw last week, which is kind of why the game has kind of played out the way it has.
Does Fort Lewis stay aggressive or get conservative here in the second half with a 1-goal lead?
Coach Oberholzer, he's an attacker, I think, by trade as well. He's going to want to go for it. He's going to want to get the second. He's going to want to try to put this thing away. You don't want to leave it at 1-0, but you're obviously not going to go throwing numbers out crazy, but you are going to push, and you're going to try to get a second goal here.
They were looking for Legendre right out of the chute here to start the second half. Mary Escobar has it for Midwestern State on the Mustang side of halfway. Tristan Adams stays in the game. He's definitely not at 100%, but he's playing well enough.
No, Tristan
and maybe
Adams,
an 80% Tristan Adams is good enough.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Pete. That's exactly what I was going to say, and his presence out there just means so much for this Mustangs team.
Midwestern State getting the ball to Adams here. Plays it out wide to Pritchard, who probably had some of the most dangerous opportunities in that first half.
We'll be interested to see how the Skyhawks try to counteract that. As you see, they're going to look to want to get in behind here early. Strocker had a tough time in those 1v1 duels in the first half, but looking to maybe give him a bit more cover, help him out a little bit in these areas, and don't leave him isolated.
Taken away by Kirkham at halfway. Gets it to Duenas, who plays the ball to Satron. Satron inside the 18, trying to get it to his left foot. Winds up. Robles dives and smothers it on the far post.
Good save. We talked about it, though, as well for the Skyhawks. The worry signs have been coming down the right wings for both teams. There's Satron again getting over there. He's a little bit different. He wants to cut in on that left foot. Skips past Oriana Espinal. Even gets around Galindo right there. Maybe a little bit too easy if you're a Mustang fan. And gets a shot away against the grain. Robles does well to get down and hold that save.
Midwestern State giving up a throw to Fort Lewis, in the Skyhawks attacking third. Escobar is able to clear it out to halfway.
Oh,
and
should be.
Midwestern State has a man run over, entering the attacking third. There's no call. The official says play on.
He got his arm grabbed there, Gakko Vakai, as he's running in behind. Referee deemed it a contact going both ways.
Adams goes down to play a header and gets it to the feet of Oriana, who finds Escobar. Once again looking for Gakko Vakai, who's on the ball out on the left wing, fronted by Pope. Gakko Vakai scored 2 goals against Cal Poly Pomona, lays this one back. It comes to McKechnie. McKechnie playing it back to Juarez. Juarez stays in to start the second half after coming on as a sub in the first half. Juarez gets it back to Galindo. Robles to Adams. Adams looking for a target upfield, pushing it toward halfway. Hjalmarsson will put some pressure on Adams. Adams accelerates, chips it forward. That gets headed by Kirkham. Here's Hjalmarsson making a run up the left channel. Hjalmarsson approaches the area. Adams chasing. Hjalmarsson to the near post. Robles deflects it, and it gets cleared out by Midwestern State. It's cleared out by Oriana. Here's Pritchard in the midfield, getting past Bosenko, finding Escobar. Escobar plays it out wide to the left. The cross to the back post. Kirschneck was making a run to the back post, but never had a chance.
Frustrated there if you're a Mustang fan. Chance to break. Villagomez has that quality on the left leg to deliver a much better cross than that. He's unable to do so in that situation. Good chance for the Mustangs on the break there. Obviously, after Hjalmarsson has a good chance of his own the other end. End-to-end stuff still, Pete.
Picked up right where we left off at the interval. We're 4 minutes into the second half.
One little tactical note I have picked up on here early in the shape. It looks like the Mustangs, look at Escobar. He's on that left-hand side. They're going to probably leave him float and kind of go where he pleases now. He played that attack in mid-roll. Looks like they're going to go in there with kind of that Juarez, you said, stayed into the match. So it'll be Juarez, Oriana, Espinal, and McKechnie in the middle. And they're going to kind of give Mede that freedom role that he had last year. Drift inside. He can drift to the middle. He can drift to the right, wherever he wants to play right now. They're going to just try to free him up.
For Lewis winning this duel in the middle of the pitch, it's DeWinnis getting ahead to Hjalmarsson, who shoots and scores.
Pete, the young man is incredible. He's absolutely incredible. And you're going to give him 3 to 4 1v1 chances. I told you, he's not going to miss them like he did last season. And he gets on the shoulder right there of Juan Galindo. Great ball played in behind, and Hjalmarsson shows great composure, one of the best center forwards, not only in this region, but in this country, to put the Fort Lewis Skyhawks up 2-0.
Hjalmarsson, playing in his 11th game this year, has his 9th goal and now has 20 points this season for the Skyhawks.
Yeah, he's onside. First 5 to 6 minutes have been the Skyhawks' little moments in here. They got the penalty kick from Satron. They now go and get the Hjalmarsson in the back of the goal 1v1. Fort Lewis sitting pretty at the moment.
The task seems a lot tougher now for Midwestern State.
It's tough, Pete. It's going to be very tough. Obviously, the Mustangs more than capable of scoring 2 goals. We've seen it before. But as you continue to open up, as you continue to push for goals, Anton Hjalmarsson is going to continue to have space, and they're going to keep putting him in, and they're going to keep going at him to see if he can find more chances at goal.
Strocker beating Kirschneck to the ball, but it's over the touchline. Last touch by Kirschneck, so it's a throw for Fort Lewis near the corner flag in their defensive third. Tristan Adams heading it. Juarez not able to keep it in play. It's cleared, but it gets only as far as Oriana. Here's Villagomez on the left side for Midwestern State. McKechnie. Villagomez pursued by Satron. Trying to get it to Oriana, but stepping in there is DeWinnis. Here's Hjalmarsson again. Up the center forward channel, but he draws plenty of attention, and Adams is able to knock the ball to the left side for Midwestern State.
Better cover from Adams there to get across and help Galindo out. He wasn't able to the first time. Hjalmarsson kept himself a little bit wider, didn't let himself float inside there. But if you're the Mustangs, you have to defend that young man with 2. You cannot leave him in 1v1 battles.
Escobar switches it to Kirschneck on the right side. Kirschneck to Pritchard. Juarez to McKechnie. Adams plays it out to the left side. Gakovakai circles back toward the top of the box. Cleared out. Hjalmarsson on that counter attack. Galindo is there for Midwestern State. Galindo gets it back from Juarez to Adams. Adams driving the ball to the right side, right to Pritchard, who knocks it down with his right boot, moves into the area, low cross. Strocker is there to block it, but that gives Midwestern State a corner kick. It's a short corner. Comes right back to Mary Escobar. Cross to the back post. Adams going up for the header. Never made contact with it. Pritchard gets it back to Villagomez, to McKechnie. McKechnie has it on his right foot. Unable to get through the traffic. Tristan Adams posting up and winning the ball for Midwestern State. Gets it back to Mary Escobar. Escobar trying to work a 1-2 on the left side of the area. Played back outside. Cross to the near post, and it's Satron who clears it out.
Shouts for handball. I obviously couldn't see it through the traffic there.
Here's Yamerson coming up the left side for Fort Lewis. He'll slow down and wait for some support. Chips it inside the 18, and Robles is there to cradle it on a bounce and roll it out to Villagomez. Villagomez goes over the top looking for Gakko Vakai. Larson is there defensively. Escobar plays it back to Villagomez. Return to Mary Escobar. McKechnie trying to switch it to the right side, but Strocker goes to ground. Deflects it to the feet of Juarez. Juarez to Kirschneck up the right side. This is Ethan Kirschneck on the right side. Played back to McKechnie. Jared McKechnie playing it to Exioriana, who plays it out wide to Mary Escobar. Into the area for Gakko Vakai. The Italian being tightly marked. Able to get it to Juarez, who has his shirt tugged, no call. Played back to Galindo. Galindo plays it out wide. Mary Escobar working a little 1-2. The back heel back to Escobar, who sends it in front of goal looking for Pritchard. Cleared out, but only as far as Kirschneck. And the flag goes up.
See Fort Lewis now as the Mustangs do get in the attack in third. They're fine getting numbers behind the ball, holding that 18-yard box as their line. Being difficult to break down. The Mustangs are going to have to be cute and intricate in around the 18 to create a chance. But also, I will say, if you're Fort Lewis, you don't want to find yourself defending like that for 35 minutes. You've done well to you've gone toe-to-toe with Midwestern, and like I said, you've taken your two chances, so obviously you're going to have to be smart about it. You're not going to go throwing numbers like crazy, but you don't want to sit in a shell and defend for 35 minutes with a 2-0 lead.
Mary Escobar's pretty good at cute and intricate.
That's it. And he's the one they're going to have to unlock. We've seen the star man for Fort Lewis come to life here, Almerson. Mustangs need their star man to come out here today and get an assist, go and create a goal, get a shot, get his team going over here. Can Escobar do it?
Juarez gets this throw after Midwestern State was able to force Almerson toward the touchline. Adams, the center back, has possession for Midwestern State. To Gabriel Gakko Vakai. Back to Ethan Kirschneck. Here's Johan Juarez on the ball for Midwestern State. Now Adams. Left to Galindo. Switch to the right side, finding Kirschneck. Strocker marking Kirschneck, who takes it toward the byline. It's a goal kick coming up here for Fort Lewis. There's some body language that's not that encouraging if you're a Midwestern State fan, because they look a little bit distraught after giving up that second goal.
Yeah, just a bit frustrated, you know what I mean? Because you feel like you've been in the game. You feel like you've had just as good a chances, but you look up at the scoreboard and you're down 2-0. And it's those moments, but if you're a Mustang player, you have to make sure you stay upbeat. You have to keep yourself in this game. You're only down 2-0. And like I said, you've had 13 shots yourself. You've had 5 corner kicks. All it takes is one. You get one, it changes the entire outlook of this match.
It's getting that first goal that's the big thing. And here comes Fort Lewis, because a third goal would just about clinch it for them.
Yeah, it would.
And they've got a guy on the ball right now who can score, and that's Legendre. Comes out to Bosenko. Poked away from Hjalmarsson. Sent over the top for Gabriel Gakovakai, but headed by Jacob Larson, who's played well today in the back. That's a handball.
Yeah.
Kirkham guilty of the handball, giving Midwestern State a free kick in the middle third on the Skyhawk side of halfway near the center circle.
Not going to give it, Pete, but he has to be careful. He has to be careful. Already on the yellow card, Kirkham. If referee deems he's breaking up a counterattack with that handball, that's another yellow card in that situation. So, obviously, I don't think it was a yellow card in the first one that he received, and I didn't think that was one there. But you obviously have to be smart playing on the book, and you don't want to go with man down here and defend with 10 for over half an hour.
With that in mind, and with a 2-goal lead, would you expect Kirkham to come out of the game?
I don't think Coach Oberholzer will take him out of the match. Like I said, he's a senior. He's been here. He understands the magnitude of what happens, and he's an integral part of that midfield that they have in there right now. Kind of those two in front of the back four. It's been Kirkham. I haven't seen the big man over there. There he is. Yes, number 23, Quinn Basenko as well. They've kind of been the two anchors in front of those two center halves, and he just has to be smart. Just has to be smart about it.
Flores on the ball for Midwestern State, getting it to Mary Escobar. Escobar working a little give and go with Gabriel Gakovakai, who decides to go out wide. It comes back into the area for Gakovakai, who shoots, but it's blocked and cleared.
And that's Kirkham right there in a good area to defend. Like we said, just kind of been those anchors.
Midwestern State right back in the attacking third with Gakovakai, playing it into space toward the byline, but Villagomez can't catch up to it, and it's a goal kick coming up for Lucas Martin and the Fort Lewis Skyhawks.
All right, Pete. I'm interested to see how long this sub happens. Bergman obviously shows the threat to get him behind with the chance he had earlier. And no disrespect by whatsoever, but he's not the same player as Almerson. So now if you're going to continue to sit in and you have this, you maybe lose your outlet that can get you in behind, that can threaten and create. Does this give the Mustangs a chance to maybe pin the Skyhawks in a little bit more?
Kirshneck goes up to win that header at halfway for Midwestern State, but it's into touch, and it'll be a throw for Strocker.
But I will say the two most relieved men to see Almerson take a breather, Galindo and Adams right now.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Yeah, that's a free
That's
kick.
the flag goes up. Galindo has some time and space. Ariana back to Adams, who hustles back for the ball. McKechnie. Here comes the pressure. Robles gets it to Adams. As DeWinnis starts to apply some high pressure, a ball sent over the top. Strocker knocks it down and then volleys it back across halfway. Headed by Galindo to the chest of McKechnie. McKechnie controls for the Mustangs. Played back to Robles. Galindo has it for Midwestern State. We're less than a half hour from full time. Midwestern State trails 2-0.
Curious to see if the Mustangs maybe bring on another one of those attacking options, maybe take off one of these midfielders, get Medi Escobar back in as the 10. I think that's just where he's been most effective underneath the striker and influencing the game. You have three midfielders, great players, Oriana Espinal, Juarez, and McKechnie, all in there, great. But they're all similar. They're all that kind of defensive mid. They're the build-up. Can you maybe bring another option on over here that's more likely to score a goal as a winger, get Escobar back in as a 10, and just kind of add those numbers because you need players that can score goals.
We saw Kervick come in as a sub in the first half.
You have him, right? You have Kervick. You have Mia, who scored a goal in the conference championship. You have Eduardo Serna, who scored the 2 goals against St. Edwards here recently. So you have these players. Handball.
And the call comes.
Oh. Couldn't see much there from the replay. Maybe Gakovakai pulls him on his way through. Us center forwards can be a little bit clever at times the way we like to grab and pull center backs, but I do know center backs, they can be dramatic as well.
The official had a word with Jacob Larson there, and now comes over toward the technical area.
Oh, no.
and is given a yellow card to the Midwestern State bench. Apparently the fourth official heard something.
Mariano, one of those center backs, he must have thought Larson was fishing like he used to do back in the day when he played for Tulsa. But you see, that's the area. I love McKechnie. I love him as a player. But that's not Escobar running underneath the second ball to pick it up.
Here's Gabriel Gakovakai to Oriana, who gets taken down. Kirkham gets it to DeWinnis. DeWinnis accelerates past Juarez to the top of the D, taking a shot from there. It goes wide right. Adams plays it to the left side for Juarez. We're in the 63rd minute of play here at Stang Park on a clear, cool autumn day. Galindo driving the ball toward Liam Pritchard. Pritchard knocks it down with the right boot, but a little heavy with the touch. Still, he's able to get to it. And he plays it to Gakovakai. Gakovakai to McKechnie. Escobar chips it. Gakovakai is underneath it. It brushes off him, and then it's covered up by the keeper, Lucas Martin.
Want to see McKechnie be a little greedy there. He's top of the 18, have a pop at goal there. Obviously, you find Escobar, nobody's going to be mad at you there, but they're closing Escobar down at pace. I don't know what the ref.
Yeah, Daniel Radford, our referee, is talking to. Is it the player Kirkham possibly shaken up?
But he's got to stop the clock.
There he goes.
He should stop it, and he should add about 30 seconds as well.
The crowd wants him to add time as well.
I mean, but in all these tournament games, this is what the refs have done. They've done well. I believe we had to call you in our conference tournament because the referee wasn't happy with the amount of time that was allotted off the clock, and he wouldn't make sure. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does here. I'm not sure if Kirkham maybe got kicked, if he took a knock as he went down there, or.
Is this to check if he needs concussion protocol, maybe?
Pete, I've got no idea. I feel like I'm normally spot on in these situations. Okay, we added time to the clock. Kirkham's not going to the side for any head injury. I'm not really sure what happened.
Kirkham staying in. It looks like it's going to be a drop ball to restart play. Martin gathers it up as Gakovakai comes in to press him. Martin gets it to halfway in the direction of Kirkham, who goes up for a 50-50 header with Pritchard. DeWinnis has it to Basenko. Basenko plays it to the right side. Legendre keeps it in play. Legendre moving up the left side along the touchline. Legendre's a dangerous potential goal scorer. Plays it in toward the middle. Kirshnak with some good defense there from Midwestern State. But here's more trouble. Villa Gomez is able to get to it because Satron was there at the end line for Fort Lewis. Here's Tristan Adams with time and space up the right side. Feeling a sense of urgency. Plays the ball ahead between Pritchard and McKechnie. Pritchard has it now, battling Strocker. Pritchard loses it. DeWinnis finds Satron, who turns it over and then takes down Villa Gomez.
Maybe a yellow card as well.
Satron may have got hit in a really tough spot. Pulling himself back to his feet. Official has stopped the clock.
Wasn't in the mood to get touched either. I think Gakovakai maybe gave him a pat on the back for a good call, and he was not too happy. You could hear that from up here.
Midwestern State gets this free kick. It would behoove them to capitalize on this opportunity. A three-man wall. Mary Escobar gets it over the wall and on frame, but it's headed out of the area. Back to Escobar, who takes a one-time crack at it, but misses high and wide. So Villa Gomez is going to come out of the game. And Kirschneck's going to come back in. That's Skylar Kirschneck.
Still want that attack and change for the Mustangs here.
.50 header. Pritchard lobs it toward the attacking third. Redirected back toward Pritchard by Luke Pope. Chased down by Galindo. Galindo gets it to Robles. He's pressured by Bergman. To Kirschneck. Back to Robles. High pressure from Fort Lewis. Ball sent out toward Gakovakai at halfway. He and Jacob Larson are both there, and Jacob Larson is down on the ground, holding a leg. Cagney was also mixed up in that fray. Larson appears to be okay. It'll be Luke Pope restarting play. We're down to the final 24 minutes, with Fort Lewis leading 2-0 in the NCAA Division II Soccer Championship. Third round match here at Midwestern State University. Mustangs are the number 2 seed. Fort Lewis the number 6 seed. Mary Escobar sending it ahead to Gakovakai, and racing out of the box to play the ball on the right side is Lucas Martin. Fort Lewis is able to get back defensively. Escobar playing it to Oriana, to Pritchard, looking for Kirschneck at the byline. Kirschneck with a cross in front of the net, but it gets cleared away by Larson.
Fort Lewis has done a better job over here kind of maintaining and just kind of keeping the Mustangs quiet. Here's the sub I asked for. You see Josh Mia, a more attack-minded player coming on for Johan Juarez. He'll play as the 10. You're going to leave Mehdi on the left, that's fine. But you have to have a true-minded attacking midfielder or attacking-minded player in this role right now. You're down 2 goals. It's nothing to lose. If the game was 2-0 the other way, I'd completely understand. But you need goals and you need your best attacking threats on the field right now if you're the Mustangs.
Tristan Adams has it near halfway to Galindo. Adams goes over the top up the left side. Pope heads it back toward the middle third. Galindo playing it for Midwestern State, now turned over. Duenas crosses halfway up the right side, chased by Escobar. Duenas gets it to Bergman. Bergman in a battle, loses the duel. Kirschneck comes away with possession. Picked up by Kirkham. The ball is played back to Skylar Kirschneck from Ethan. Galindo plays it up the middle for Oriana to McKechnie up the right side. McKechnie leaves it in a space for Oriana to Pritchard to McKechnie, turned over. Kirkham has it to Basenko to Duenas. Duenas approaches halfway as Pritchard goes down. Basenko has it. He'll play it to the right side. Pope is across halfway. Back to Basenko. Basenko trying to get it to Legendre. Adams playing it to Escobar for MSU. Escobar has it poked away there by Kirkham. Fort Lewis doing a pretty good job on Mary Escobar, as they did a year ago. They didn't really let Escobar see too much of the ball in the match last year.
Yeah.
Here's Bergman moving inside the 18, taking a shot for the far side netting, but he's off target with it. And it's a goal kick coming up for Robles and the Mustangs.
Big man's gone in here and done well to create a few chances for himself, Bergman. Like I said, not maybe the threat that you see of Hjalmarsson, but he's done well himself to create a few chances. And another
McKechnie coming out, and Serta comes in.
Another attack-minded substitution here. Like I said, Coach Meacham and Fitzgerald, they've been around the game long enough. They know not to leave their aces in the deck sitting on the bench right now, and you might as well go for it here. It's the end of the season, and got to win. You got to win to stay in this thing. You've got to find a way to get a goal. And like I said, you have Hexie in there who can do that defensive mid-roll on his own, I believe, or McKechnie, whoever was in there. Push Mede back in here central. Looks like they're going to play with 2 10s, with Mede and Josh Mia being in there, kind of more close-minded to Gakko Vakai. You're going to have Cerna on the left. You're going to have Pritchard on the right. And this looks more like a team that's willing to chase a game down 2 goals right now, in my opinion.
Midwestern State trailing 2-0, a little more than 20 minutes remaining. Robles to Adams. This is Galindo.
If you're the Mustangs, you need something. I'm not saying it has to be the goal. Obviously, that's the main thing they need. But you need something to get some life back into this. You need something to get this crowd back into it, to get this team back into it. A good shot, a good effort, a good spell of possession. Fort Lewis has done a real good job of neutralizing things and just taking the sting out of the game so far after going up 2-0.
Mitchell keeps it away from Legendre. Yeah, this crowd's gotten quiet, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
Here's Oriana for Midwestern State. To Mia. Mia was the hero in the Lone Star Conference tournament, getting the game-winning goal against St. Mary's. They gave Midwestern State an automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. They ended up as the number 2 seed, hosting the number 6 seed, Fort Lewis, here this afternoon in the 3rd round of the NCAA Division II Soccer Championship. The winner to play either Cal State LA or Colorado State Pueblo, and they are scoreless just a little bit more than a half hour into that match.
You see right now what Fort Lewis is going to do. They're not going to let you break them down. They're going to let you swing it side to side throughout your back line. They're going to make it tough to play through the middle. You're going to have to go a bit more direct. Obviously, like I said, the Mustangs have been okay with it. And it's not necessarily about that first ball that's going to open things up for the Mustangs. Can they maybe win a second ball in and around the 18, 25 yards away, and then playing a little bit more percentage football at the moment, because it's not going to be coming easy or how they normally are accustomed to creating and getting their chances.
Mitchell getting underneath the ball that was sky high. And Legendre is down.
Looks like cramp for him.
Yep.
He's put in a shift. He's played well over here on this left wing. He's come back. We talked about the Mustangs creating chances on this right wing with Pritchard. He's done well. Maybe not so much in the attacking side, you see, but he's done the dirty work defensively to get back over here to help out Strocker in his defensive duties. And it's really, like I said, just kind of neutralize what the Mustangs have been able to do well and create down that right-hand side.
Legendre limping off the field as Ramos comes on to replace him. Jacob Ramos played 17 minutes in the first half as a substitute. For now, Legendre may just be put on the shelf. Adams restarts play for Midwestern State. Switching it over to Galindo. Adams to halfway, marked by DeWinnis. Sends it to the 18. Cerna is there at the end line, out to Mitchell. Mitchell along the touch line, plays it back to Pritchard. In the middle it goes to Oriana, looking for Mitchell, making a run up the right side, deflected back to Pritchard. Sends it back toward the top of the box. Here's Mia on the ball now for Midwestern State. Fort Lewis is pretty much parking the bus now.
They are, and like I said, Gakko Vakai is obviously a presence. You look at Max Gonzalez coming in. Like I say, if you're the Mustangs, you got to put a few balls in the box. You got to just kind of whip a few things in here. Like I said, play percentage football. Try to maybe play for a second, because you've not been able to break them down or really create chances around wide. So maybe Gonzalez brings another threat in there. I thought he'd maybe go in there paired up with Gakko Vakai. It looks like it's going to be like for like instead.
Gonzalez coming in for Gakko Vakai. Mitchell to Pritchard. To Escobar, who could be playing his last 17 minutes with Midwestern State. Mustangs are down 2-0. Mustangs' all-time leading goal scorer has 60 career goals, 16 goals this year. Two-time LSC Player of the Year, the reigning NCAA Division II Player of the Year.
What they would give to have another one of those magical goals from Mede right now.
Ramos steps in front of Mitchell and then back heels a pass to Bergman. Mitchell shadowing Bergman, and Mitchell wins the battle. Gets it to Cerna. Cerna's got a little magic. He finds Escobar. Getting it back to Cerna. Cleared out. Gets only as far as Mia. Mia playing it to Pritchard, who goes to ground, getting across in front. Cleared out only as far as Mitchell. Mitchell trying to find Gonzalez. Cleared out to Oriana.
Lucas Martin, brilliant again to save the opportunity from Mia. Man of the match so far for me in goal for Fort Lewis has been the goalkeeper. As much as I loved Hjalmarsson, he took his second goal well. This guy, Lucas Martin, has been unbelievable in between the sticks. Sophomore from Middlesbrough, England. Sure, he's got some family tuned in watching back home, and they can't be more proud than what they're seeing right now.
Here's Mary Escobar looking for Pritchard. Again, it's cleared out to Ramos. To Duenas. Marked by Adams. Ramos double team. Finds Basenko. To Pope. Pope laying it out wide to Satron. Basenko at halfway. Marked by Ariana, loses it for an MSU throw at halfway. It appears as though Gakko Vakai might be preparing to come back in the game.
Yeah.
Eddie Escobar has it and chips it toward Gonzalez. Gonzalez almost directed that thing toward goal, but there's your man, Lucas Martin, covering it up.
He's been very good. Yeah, Gakko Vakai maybe just wanted to go and get a tactical instruction before maybe pairing him up. I thought that, like I said, he would have stayed up there with Gonzalez, maybe give him 2 targets to aim at inside the box. This last 15 minutes, I mean, you're in the 75th.
Martin's made 5 saves. Robles has made 4. The two teams have combined for 29 attempts. 15 for the Mustangs, 14 for the Skyhawks. Midwestern State trying to get it to Pritchard, but the Skyhawk defense has been stifling. Mitchell, Adams. Here's Kirkham. Playing it to Satron. Satron loses his footing, somehow able to get that ball back to Larson. Out of play. Throw for Midwestern State. Less than a quarter hour from full time.
Yeah.
More subs coming into the match.
I said it about 10 minutes ago. I didn't know why there was 3 defensive midfielders on the field, and now with Hexie going off, there's no defensive midfielders on the field for the Mustangs. You have to throw all hands out on deck right now to try and push for this goal. You concede another one.
And Hjalmarsson has come back into the game for Fort Lewis.
Well, he'll be looking for a third, I can tell you that much right now.
Which would pretty much be insurance unless Midwestern State can do something. Gonzalez to Escobar.
Great ball.
Pritchard knocks it down with the right boot. Pritchard stays on it, centers it up for Gonzalez. Basenko down on the ground playing the ball. Galindo has it teed up. Bends one wide of the back post,
Offside.
looking for Gakko Vakai, but the flag is up. Shadows growing long here at Staying Park on a still cool autumn afternoon. First day of December. Great to be playing soccer on the first day of December. Midwestern State trying to make sure that the season doesn't end on December the 1st. Fort Lewis trying to get to the quarterfinals to play either Colorado State Pueblo or Cal State LA. They've got a 2-0 lead, and Hjalmarsson on the ball. Hjalmarsson gets to the top of the 18 before he's dispossessed. Free kick here for Midwestern State.
Going to do it. It has to be soon if you're the Mustangs. You need to get this first one, I think, before about 5 minutes hits that clock to give yourself an opportunity. Game's kind of taken a very similar feel in way, obviously without the yellow cards and the fouls, but the way it played out last year with Midwestern leading 2-0. Majority of the game seeming in control before Almerson got on the back, found one in the back of the net to make the game a little bit nervy the last 5 minutes last year.
I think it was in the 67th minute when Almerson scored that goal last year.
So obviously a little bit later here for the Mustangs as we approach the 80th minute.
But it was a nerve-wracking final 7 or 8 minutes for Midwestern State to hold on to that 2-1 lead. Here's Gakko Vakai. Taken away from Escobar, won back by Gakko Vakai. The Italian showed some real skill on the ball, staying away from Kirkham. Able to get the ball to Mitchell in the center forward channel, played left to Kirshnak. Cerna switches it to the right side. Galindo knocks it down. Pritchard's out wide on the right side. Pritchard with a cross to the back post. It goes through the area to the left side for Gonzalez. To Escobar at the top of the box on the left side. Chips it toward the front of goal. Looking for Gonzalez. It lands at the feet of Galindo to Pritchard. Pritchard again driving into the back post.
It's a poor clearance from Pope.
Gakko Vakai has it. Here's a shot for Mia, covered up by Lucas Martin, who makes his 6th save. Mia nearly snuck one past him.
Yeah, it's a poor clearance from Pope, as I mentioned, and first thing he's maybe done wrong, Mede sets up Mia, and best he can do right there with that opportunity. But Lucas Martin, man of the match, at it yet again.
Kirshneck's on the ball for Midwestern State. And trying to get it out to Cerna, but it's into touch. And certainly at this point, Fort Lewis is going to be in no hurry.
No, I think they've managed the game excellently, in my opinion. Been very professional in the way they've kind of gone about it, especially after getting the 2-0 lead. Obviously, you haven't given up the amount of chance you did first half. You've defended well. You've been organized behind the ball. You've limited the opportunities for the Mustangs. Can you continue to do it for another 10.5 minutes?
Mitchell plays it back to Kirshnak. Kirshnak finding Pritchard on the right side. He heads it back in the direction of Galindo. Galindo has to sprint to it to get there before Almerson. Robles plays it to the left side. Kirshnak looks upfield for a target. This is Skylar Kirshnak. Gonzalez is the target. Gonzalez is marked there by Eliquad. Gonzalez on the ball. Side boots it to Pritchard. Pritchard with a low cross into the area. Gonzalez is on the ball to the foot of Escobar. Escobar trying to get it through traffic. It gets punched away by the keeper. He's unable to get it past Cerna. Finally cleared out by Aguilera. Almerson approaches the 18, slowing down. Takes a shot from distance. Robles makes a diving effort and apparently did not touch it because it's a goal kick.
In a 1 versus 3, probably the only man in the country that can create a chance. Anton Almerson goes at it with his left foot, slows things down, cuts in on Kirshnak, has a good effort that looked like it was destined for the top corner, but just goes wide.
Satron coming out of the game. A little more than 9 minutes from full time. Midwestern State needs 2 goals. Mitchell to Galindo for Pritchard. Pritchard moves toward the middle. Strocker goes for the tackle, comes up empty. Mia has it in the center forward channel, leaves it for Escobar. Escobar trying to find Pritchard at the top of the box. Mary Escobar has it. Mary Escobar. All covered up by Skyhawks, who are able to get the ball cleared out of the box. Midwestern State gets a throw. And Skylar Kirshnak throwing it in for Midwestern State, but time's a-wasting. Gets it into Mia. Cleared out to halfway. in the direction of Hjalmarsson, but Adams is there to head it away from the forward. Gakovakai able to play it. Back to Kershnak, to Mia. Mia playing the ball while he's down on the ground. Gets it to Cerna, who finds Galindo on the right side. Back to Cerna. One-touch pass to Galindo. Galindo looking for a target. Plays it right to Medri Escobar. Escobar gets it to Cerna. Cerna weaving his way through Skyhawks. Gonzalez slips down, and the ball trickles all the way back to Lucas Martin, the keeper moving to his left. Falls on top of it. Takes a little bit of time off the clock. 7.5 minutes remaining. Midwestern State trails Fort Lewis 2-0. Skyhawks looking for Hjalmarsson, who gets tangled up with Galindo. Adams plays it straight up in the air. Mitchell and Aguilera are underneath it. It's a 50-50 ball that's sent out of play. It's a throw for Midwestern State. Thrown into Escobar. To Robles. We're into the 84th minute of this match. Comes right. Galindo. Ramos watching Galindo, keeping an eye on Medri Escobar. It's a through ball to Gakovakai for Escobar, who's gotten behind Ramos. Plays a low cross. Sent outside the box, but held in the attacking third. A shot from distance. Skips into the arms of Lucas Martin.
That's going to be one of the easier saves Martin's had to make today. No real conviction on that attempt from Kershnak. Mustangs are flowing. Just unable to find that real good chance that they want right now. And Fort Lewis defending well, keeping things in areas that they find themselves comfortable defending and trying to see this game out and get themselves to the Elite Eight.
Martin finds Ramos. Then a wrestling match breaks out between Ramos and Galindo. Kirkham trying to help out. And it goes off Strocker, and Galindo throws it into Gonzalez. Gonzalez to Pritchard. Pritchard trying to fend off Strocker. Switches it to the left side. Mitchell getting it from Mia. Played to Pritchard. Pritchard enters the box. Strocker is there defensively. Kirkham has it for the Skyhawks. Clears it.
It's no need for that from Gonzalez there. It is a foul. Fans aren't happy, but he's going nowhere. He's going to kick the ball out of play. He's hoping that that little foul comes in behind and he can just milk a little bit of these valuable seconds away.
We've played nearly 85 minutes now. Fort Lewis with a 2-0 lead. Got a penalty kick in the 6th minute from David Satron. And then Anton Hjalmarsson scoring in the 50th minute. DeWinnis getting an assist on the Hjalmarsson goal. Midwestern State trying to pull one back here with less than 5 minutes remaining. But give Fort Lewis credit for the way they've defended here in the last 20 minutes.
Oh, it's been a real professional job, Pete. Like I said, they've gone up 2-0. They've kind of let the end-to-end stuff die away. They've defended well, compact in their half, look for their chances to break. Martin, their goalkeeper's made the saves he needed to make, and the Mustangs have yet to find the breakthrough.
Could this be the opportunity Midwestern State's been looking for? Gonzalez nods it down, but it's not too much for Martin to handle. Lucas Martin drives the ball beyond halfway. Tristan Adams chasing it down, beating Ramos to the ball. Ramos is draped all over Adams, but again, Sands racing through the hourglass here, less than 4 minutes from full time. Thrown into Escobar. To Robles. Kershnak finds his target in Gakovakai. Gakovakai trying to get through the Skyhawks, lost it. But Mia was there to get it to Pritchard. to Galindo in deep. In front is Gakko Vakai.
Oh, Gakko Vakai's taking it off of Mede Escobar's toe.
Official stops the clock with 3:09 to play.
This ball's going right to Mede Escobar. Can't fault Gakko Vakai for running through, though. It's just been one of those days for the Mustangs.
Daniel Radford restarts the clock. Ball sent into Mustangs country. Adams plays it long up the left side. Here's Gonzalez to Escobar. Shot deflected. Pritchard has a shot blocked.
Yeah, it's bodies in front of balls every single time over here for the Skyhawks of Fort Lewis. They've defended valiantly so far and are 2.5 minutes away from getting that Elite Eight berth.
Mitchell playing the ball to the back post, not making contact with a fellow Mustang, and it's out of play. It's a goal kick, a chance for the Skyhawks to drain some more of the clock. Less than 2.5 minutes from full time. Midwestern State needs 2 goals, and it's seeming more and more unlikely that Midwestern State will be advancing. It's looking like Fort Lewis will be playing either Pueblo or Cal State LA next week after getting a victory here at Stang Park, and that's not easy to do. In fact, in an NCAA tournament game, they've only done it one other time when they advanced on PKs back in 2006. Galindo to Adams. Adams, in all likelihood, playing his final seconds as a Midwestern State Mustang. We're down to the final 90 seconds as Midwestern State approaches the attacking third. Cerna took a shot that was blocked. Then a chance comes for Mia off his left foot, but it's covered up by Lucas Martin, who's been up for almost every challenge today. He's got 10 saves now, a little more than a minute to play.
Think about it, Pete. He hasn't dropped one. He hasn't spilled anything to give a second chance upon. He's held everything. It's been very good goalkeeping today from Lucas Martin.
Fort Lewis looking for just their 3rd win in 10 all-time visits here to Stang Park. Midwestern State was 2-0-1 in the NCAA tournament meetings between these two sides. All here in Wichita Falls. Hjalmarsson looking for a goal. It's just off target. Midwestern State's down to 35 seconds. Trailing 2-0. Mitchell sends it long. Martin has it. Fort Lewis is about ready to start celebrating. Martin falls on top of it. 15 seconds remaining. Midwestern State may not get another touch.
9, 8, 7.
Martin going to boot this one down as far as he can. Bounces past Adams to Hjalmarsson. Adams touches it as the horn sounds. And Fort Lewis has come to Stang Park at Midwestern State University and defeated the host Mustangs 2-0, and it was an impressive performance by Fort Lewis.
Yeah, you got to give credit where credit's due. Coach Oberholzer had his team ready and up for the challenge. They played well here last year against Midwestern State. They've come in again now a year later after taking that loss, and they've turned that around into a result for themselves. It started out early. We talked about the experienced front four they had, all returning guys that played last year. Legendre, Thomas Duenas. We talk about Cetron that scored the opening penalty kick, and, of course, Anton Hjalmarsson, who's up front. And they started out the game hot. They started out putting Midwestern on the back foot. They earned the penalty kick, and you go up a goal early doors. You don't think it's going to play out. It's not going to be the end-all, be-all. But it gave them the opportunity to kind of settle in with the lead. Midwestern doesn't take its chances. Hjalmarsson kind of puts the game to bed early in the second half in a very similar fashion.
The Skyhawks are now 13-0-2 when they score that first goal. So that was a huge moment in this game in the 6th minute when they converted on the PK.
Yeah, and it's probably something that they as a group emphasize. If that's the case, 13-0-2, Coach Oberholzer understands and knows what his team can do when playing with the lead. You obviously saw the way they defended so well the second half. First half at a 1-0 lead, they kept it a little more open. It was a little more run and gun. Second half, as soon as they got the second goal, they were valiant. They kept their line. They stayed in the low block. They attacked on the counter when they had their opportunities, and they defended with 8-9 all 11 behind the ball, 8-9 at times inside their own box. So a very professional result and professional performance from Coach Oberholzer and his Fort Lewis Skyhawks.
Colorado State Pueblo with a 1-0 lead over Cal State LA at halftime. If that result holds, Fort Lewis would be playing Colorado State Pueblo next week for a berth in the Final Four.
So Fort Lewis knows they'll be traveling either way. So winner of that game between Pueblo and LA will get a chance to host the Elite Eight with an opportunity to go to a Final Four. At this moment here, you think Fort Lewis cares? They said, we'll go to Colorado Springs. We're going to Wichita Falls. I'm sure they'd probably like a trip to L.A. more than Pueblo, me, myself. I mean, who wouldn't? But I don't think they're going to mind either way where they end up at, and they'll be, I'm sure, ready for the challenge.
So it all comes to an end for Midwestern State today. 15-3-3. Their final record as Fort Lewis improves to 14-3-6. But once again, Michael Meacham has proven to be an outstanding head coach. He wins 80% of his games as a head coach, but unable to get the team beyond the third round this year after falling to Fort Lewis, losing Colorado State Pueblo last year in the third round. But this was a much different season for Midwestern State. There was a time over the course of this season, Midwestern State didn't even think they would be hosting a regional, and they ended up hosting 2 games in the NCAA tournament.
And that's the standards that are set in place here at Midwestern, and Coach Meacham has put in place for this program, and they're going to continue to punch and continue to push, and hopefully they can get themselves over the hump here next year, because that's going to be the same goal. You're going to lose some great players.
They are losing a lot of quality.
And, that's what I know we're going to maybe talk about here, and just a moment to recognize some of those great players. You've got the greatest all-time goal scorer in history, just played his last match at Stang Park, Mede Escobar. What a joy he's been to. I got to coach him for a year and get to watch him these last 3 years. I can only imagine how much fun you've had calling his games up here in the booth. Same with Tristan Adams as well. And you're going to have some of these valuable seniors that have been here for a while, 5-6 years. Juan Galindo's, all these players that have just meant so much for the program. And unfortunately, going out this way, only one team's happy at the end of the year. And
right.
that's the truth. And got to be happy and proud of what these guys have accomplished and done for the program over the years.
Is there anything that Midwestern State could have done differently today to change this result?
Take your chances. Take your chances is all you can say you would have liked to do. But once again, you got to tip your hat to that man in goal. Lucas Martin was tremendous. He made the saves he had to make. I'm sure the Mustangs will say, if we could have got this a little more in the corner, take this chance a little bit earlier, finish this a little bit sharper and cleaner, we would have liked to. But no, you got to give a lot of credit to Lucas Martin. I think it's an even game. Look, you see the Mustangs outshoot him 26-16, 5 corners to 4. They had their opportunities. Just were unable to take them in today.
Well, and the thing that Fort Lewis has done now twice, and last year that Midwestern State was able to win anyway, 2-1 in the NCAA tournament against Fort Lewis. But again this year, Fort Lewis took Mede Escobar out of the game.
Yeah, they really did, and he's had the one chance in the first half that I think if he's going to look back on, and we all do. I have my moment that I remember in Colorado Mesa whenever I'm top of the 18 and I put one over my senior year when it's like, that was my chance. He's going to remember that one in the first half. I think that came to him on the negative one. He shoots it a little too near post and at Lucas Martin, and that's going to be the one out of all the goals he scored. It's going to be the unfortunate one that he's going to remember for a long, long time.
Anything controversial about the penalty that led to the first goal?
Penalty's a penalty. Like I said, my head's down looking at the notes. I didn't see how the ball got to Almerson in the first place, whether it was a giveaway by Midwestern or how it maybe ended up at his feet. But obviously that's where I thought the danger was going to come. I was like, oh, here comes Almerson about to get a shot away. They defended him well. And you saw all eyes went to Almerson. As Almerson loses the ball, Duenes picks it up. He floats around the 18 and dangly legging it around. You're going to foul him. You're going to clip him. It was a penalty. 10 out of 10 in my book, so no controversy for me.
Any thoughts about Fort Lewis' chances of ultimately being the national champion?
National champion's a long stretch. Obviously, I haven't got to see all the other region, but they have as much chance as Colorado State Pueblo or Cal State LA to go through and represent this region in the Final Four. You have an unbelievable talent in Anton Almerson. You've got other pieces around him that can be great. I thought Basenko and Kirkland did very well as the 2 defensive mids in front. They shored up where they needed to on the left back with with Strocker in those areas. The two center backs, Eloquad and Larson, were rock solid. I thought Pope was very good at right back. So they've obviously got the makeup in the team that's playing this way that can go and have a real run at it.
By the way, Charleston took out the defending national champion 1-0, but Franklin Pierce, the 5th seed, Charleston, the number 1 seed today. So Charleston is just waiting on the post-Felician winner, and they're in overtime, tied 3-3. Looks like that's going to a PK shootout. McKendree is leading Finlay 2-0. They're in the 87th minute. The winner of that game will be playing Saginaw Valley, a winner earlier today over Tiffin, 2-1. Clayton State has knocked out the top seed Limestone today, 2-1 in overtime, and will play Lynn, the number 2 seed, a 1-0 winner over 7th seed West Florida. The number 2 seed in Super Region 4, Midwestern State, was taken out today by the 6th seed Fort Lewis. Fort Lewis waiting on the winner of the Pueblo-Cal State LA game, and Pueblo, the number 1 seed in the region, has a 1-0 lead after 45 minutes of that match. We will have a chance to visit with David Oberholzer, and a couple of the Skyhawks will also visit with Michael Meacham and a couple of Midwestern State Mustangs in our post-game show. We hope you'll stay with us on Flow College. Again, the final today at Stang Park on the most beautiful campus in Texas, Midwestern State University. It's Fort Lewis 2, Midwestern State 0. For Lynn Smith, I'm Pete Stein, saying so long from Wichita Falls. Join us for the post-game show.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are setting the blitz and getting you to play the game. Many of you.
Good job, man. Great job.
Walk out so it stays.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA consent is prohibited.
On campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades.
National championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access.
And they've done it!
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are setting the blitz and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences. Brought to you by the NCAA.
I teach the art of fanology, a job I take seriously. As to the question of nature versus nurture, is a fan born or is a fan made? I know this. Our game can make a fan out of anyone. And at Fandom U, we take it to a whole new level. The NCAA Championships. Attendance is encouraged, passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets. Class dismissed.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Welcome back to Stang Park and the postgame show. We're joined now by Michael Meacham, the head coach at Midwestern State University, after Fort Lewis beat the Mustangs here this afternoon 2-0. Fort Lewis played a great game. Is there anything you wish you could have done differently?
Take care of both boxes better. I mean, we made 2 mistakes, gave away 2 goals, 1 penalty early, and then 1 early in the second half. I mean, you could tell all year they were clinical in front of goal, and we gave away, like I said, 2 mistakes and gave away 2 goals. And then we weren't good enough in front of our own goal to score.
Did you see anything controversial about the penalty at all?
No, it was a penalty.
They are unbeaten when they score the first goal. Do you think that's what did you in, was the first goal, or what was your assessment?
No, I mean, I still think we created chances. I mean, we got 26 shots, and I think 10 or 12 of them were on goal. So it's not like we didn't create chances and we didn't put them under pressure. We just weren't clinical enough in front of goal today.
The second goal they scored, that's Hjalmarsson. He's an impressive talent.
Yeah, no, he's a good player. I mean, he likes to get in behind you. We didn't do a good enough job covering him. We made the first initial contact, and he spun, and we didn't have our cover in our other center back, and he was able to get behind us.
Once they decided they were going to sit back on you, it made it really tough for you to get any really quality chances.
I mean, the goalkeeper still made a couple. I mean, we missed one from about 12, 13 yards out. I think when they did get a little bit deeper, I still think we were able to get balls served in the box. We were able to get cutbacks. We were able to get opportunities to score. But unfortunately today, it just wasn't one of those days.
It seems like the last 2 years they've done a pretty good job on Mary Escobar.
Yeah, when you're as good as he is, people pay attention to you. And every time he was on the ball, there was 2 or 3 people around him, kind of forcing things backwards and not giving him clear looks. They take pride in blocking shots today, and they did a great job of it. I give all the credit to Dave and Fort Lewis to represent Region 4 and the Elite 8.
You think they've got a chance to go to the Final Four?
I told the boys 2 days ago, I think whoever won this game will go to the Final Four. So I wish those guys all the best.
I know it's still just moments after the end of the season. You haven't really had time to do a post-mortem, but any thoughts about this season for Midwestern State?
I mean, I think we achieved some greatness. I mean, obviously you had Mede break the all-time leading goal scoring. We went through a little bit of adversity earlier in the season with some draws and then a loss. And then we were able to kind of fight back and kind of still put ourselves in a chance to host in the NCAA tournament. So, I mean, I think that's really good. We were able to play 4 or 5 freshmen this year, which we haven't done in a long time, which was very, very important to our growth and our building for the future, not only this year. We had some guys that didn't play a lot earlier in the season that kind of came on and were big pieces to it. I mean, Jared's one of them you'll talk to here in a minute. So, yeah, I mean, I think that we're taking some good steps forward, and we achieved a lot individually and collectively to come back to the Sweet 16.
That's another great season for you, Michael Meacham. Thanks for joining us here on the postgame.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Pete.
That's Michael Meacham, the head coach here at Midwestern State University. He wins 80% of his games. He's got 103 wins in the course of his career here at Midwestern State, so he has been magnificent. We're going to invite Gabriel Gakovic to join us. We talked to him last week in our postgame show after he scored 2 goals against Cal Poly Pomona. What made this Fort Lewis team so tough today?
I mean, first of all, I want to shout out to them. Great team, like really composed and clinical, front of the goal. Really good team, well organized. They were a really good team in transition. Every time they got the ball, you see people sprinting forward, making good runs. I mean, you just 2 little mistakes. This is what a national tournament is about, just detail. As I said last time, detail, a couple of details, and we're out. But again, shout out to them, great team, and I think they're gonna make it far.
What did you see on the penalty?
I mean, in my opinion, it was a penalty. Nothing. The ref was really good in my opinion. Great game for him too. But it's not about the penalty itself. Then we had chances to. We just gotta be more clinical. But we just learned from here and we move on.
How tough were the final 20 minutes when they really kind of decided to pack it in?
I mean, that's national tournament game, you know. You gotta give him props. They were up to 0. They parked the bus. Then it's hard to break them down. And still, we were there all game, shot on goal, and the keeper came out really good, to be honest. Yeah.
Is this the best team you faced this year?
Yeah. The most organized team I faced this year. Like, they were really a good soccer team, well organized. Yeah, it's hard, man. It's hard.
Well, congratulations on a great season. I know it's tough today, but it was a fantastic year for you and Midwestern State.
Thank you very much, Pete. Thank you for everything.
Gabrielle Gakovakai joining us on the post-game show, and we're also going to get a chance to visit with Jared McKechnie, who we've talked about a lot on our Midwestern State broadcast as kind of being one of those guys that's the glue on the team that makes things happen in the midfield. Jared, you gave up the goal in the 6th minute off the penalty. How tough was it after that?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, we've been here a couple times in the season where we've been 1-0 down pretty early, so we just had to keep our head up and just keep fighting. And in the moment, it wasn't ideal, obviously, but we had to move on. And
what was the conversation among the team at halftime?
It was just that we're still in it, to keep our heads up, to keep being on the front foot, attacking, being as dangerous as we can. Because, I mean, like I said, we've been here before in the season, so we just had to keep going. And yeah, I think we did that. We created chances, but we just need the finished product in the end.
Were you disheartened at all when they scored their second goal there in the opening minutes of the second half?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think everyone was, but I was just trying to get the boys riled up again because, yeah, anything can happen. It happened in football, and being 2-0 down doesn't mean you lost the game. So we had plenty of time. We had chances. So I think something to learn from for sure.
What made them so tough today?
I think it was just the way they set up. They had their number 9 was quite good, and we needed to deal with him. And I don't think we did a great job of that today. So yeah, I think it's little moments, to be honest.
What will be your fondest memory about this season?
There's a lot. I mean, it's got to be winning the conference after being 1-0 down. I mean, this is my first year here, so it was nice to have a winning feeling.
To get a trophy.
Exactly, but obviously I wanted to go all the way, so hopefully next year.
You'll be back next year?
I will be back, yeah.
We'll look forward to seeing you. It was fun watching you play this year. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us here on the postgame show as well. When we come back, we'll talk to today's winners from Fort Lewis as our coverage continues live from Wichita Falls.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are setting the blitz and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences. Brought to you by the NCAA.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Welcome back to Stang Park here in Wichita Falls as David Oberholzer joins us now, the winning head coach today for Fort Lewis. And Coach, you're unbeaten when you get the first goal. How big was it to get that chance from the penalty spot in the 6th minute?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about that all the time, and how important the first goal is, and when we can force a team to have to chase and open up a bit, and we know we're dangerous on the counter as well. So when we bring a team out, we know there's going to be spacing behind, and we can hurt them. So
yeah, one of the reasons you're so dangerous on the counter is you got that big target player in Hjalmarsson, and then he gets the second goal for you, and it seemed like while Midwestern State has shown the ability to come back this season, that second goal was kind of the death knell.
And we talked about at halftime, we knew it wasn't going to end 1-0. We knew there were more goals in it, and the goal for us was to get the second one and to kill the game off, and guys did a great job.
And it seemed like scoring the 2 goals obviously was the best thing you did, but the way you managed the game after you had a 2-0 lead was also impressive.
Yeah, we just wanted to stay really compact and solid and keep the game in front of us. And, obviously Lucas, our goalkeeper, made some great saves, and, another great night for him, but just a really solid defensive team effort.
I mean, Midwestern State came at you, but it seemed like not only tonight, but it also seemed like last year you were kind of able to take Mary Escobar out of the game a little bit.
I mean, obviously he's got a lot of goals and a lot of assists, so he's a great player, and we were able to keep him quiet tonight, which I don't think happens often. So.
Yeah, he didn't score a goal last year against you. He didn't score a goal. Usually when he plays a team twice, he gets at least one. So, nice job. Your thoughts about going forward now? You'll play either Pueblo or Cal State LA. Pueblo's got a 1-0 lead at the half of that game. Any thoughts about who you might play or any preference?
We'll see how it shakes out. I think we're just excited about moving on, and we'll enjoy the evening and start looking forward to next weekend.
Well, your team was very impressive today. I know you enjoyed your trip to Wichita Falls, but good luck down the road.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
That's David Oberholzer, the head coach here at Fort Lewis, joining us on the postgame show. Now we'll get a chance to talk to one of the players. And the first one we'll talk to is Jacob Larson. Jacob Larson's a 6'2 defender, a senior from Missoula, Montana. And it was really the guys in the back that did a lot of the hard work today. We've talked a lot here on the postgame show, but I want to ask you the confidence of the team after you got that first goal, because you came in 12-0-2 when you scored the first goal.
Yeah, I think that every game we've been playing in, we've felt a lot of confidence, and I think that showed today. We're really excited for these big games, and I think that, we wanted to get on the front foot early, and we showed that by scoring early, so, yeah.
It seemed like you came into Wichita Falls with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I mean, I think after last year we came here and we lost to them, and they were a really good side both years, and I think that, we really wanted to get the game back that we lost last year, so I think that kind of played into it. We were really, really confident with a lot of guys coming back and wanting to win this game. So.
It was a 2-1 game last year, and it was an evenly matched game. And even coming into the game this year, on the stat sheet, the two teams looked really even. Did it seem like an even fight out there?
Yeah, I think so. I think, our keeper, Lucas Martin, made a lot of really good stops in both halves, but we created a lot of really good chances ourselves as well. So,
having Hjalmarsson on the team, it makes your counterattack so dangerous. It's got to be a good feeling knowing he's there.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the ball goes up, and I'm just like, let's get up and let's see what he does with it. So, yeah, definitely.
I talked about, as you were walking up, about how well you guys played in the back. And I think you've had 9 clean sheets, 10 now, counting today. What makes the back so good for Fort Lewis?
I mean, I think it comes down to what we talk about a lot, which is our mentality, our tenacity. Just outworking the other team, and if we can, put ourselves in a good spot by doing that, I think it makes it really hard for the opponents. So
we appreciate your time. Thanks, congratulations, and good luck.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, let's bring in the star of the team, Anton Hjalmarsson. He's a 6'1" sophomore from Sweden, and we've seen him here in Wichita Falls the last couple of years, and you've impressed every time you've taken the field here at Stang Park. Just talk about the confidence that the team had coming into Wichita Falls.
I think everyone wanted redemption from last year, so I think it was nothing wrong with the effort and fight out there today.
Did you feel like this game was a lot different than the game you played here last year?
I think it looked kind of similar from last year. 2 strong sides and a really good game both years.
Talk about the penalty that set up the first goal for you. How did you see it unfold?
I think it was a penalty, and David put it away. So that was huge to get on top of them in the first half. So yeah.
You guys have been pretty good on penalty kicks, but I think every penalty kick somebody else has scored. How does that decision made?
I think it just who feels it at the time. So we don't really have someone who.
It doesn't look like you had a designated guy.
The guy who feels it at the time goes up and scores. So yeah.
Well, you went up and scored in the opening minutes of the second half. describe that goal for me, and what was that feeling like to go up 2-0 against Midwestern State?
Thomas, as usual, he puts the ball in behind for me to run on, so it was just for me to finish. It was huge again in the first minutes of the second half, and 2-0, yeah.
What are your thoughts about going forward, about playing either Cal State LA or Colorado State Pueblo?
I think we're looking forward to play either of the teams, and I think it's going to be a great game either way.
It's been fun watching you here the last couple of years. Congratulations. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Well, that's our coverage from Midwestern State University as Fort Lewis defeats the host, the number 6 seed, knocking off the number 2 seed here this afternoon on a clear, chilly day in Wichita Falls. Fort Lewis played some outstanding soccer, and they beat Midwestern State 2-0. I'm Pete Stein saying so long from Stang Park, from the most beautiful campus in Texas, Midwestern State University. Thanks for joining us.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA consent is prohibited.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades.
Ah, the holidays. The time of year for friends, family, camaraderie, and competition. Give the gift of fandom this year. Treat the fan in your life with the gift of NCAA championships. Use code JOY. Save this holiday season with NCAA Holideals. Buy your tickets today at ncaa.com/deals. Class dismissed.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
National championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access.
And they've done it!
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
College sports fans, get ready for game day with the officially licensed merchandise from the NCAA official online shop. Shop NCAAsports.com. Get the whole family geared up with the best collection of apparel and accessories, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, headgear, championship gear, and more. Visit the NCAA shop for today's special offer and rep your favorite team now. Only at shopncaasports.com.